guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I will be talking about breastfeeding, and I will break it down into 3 parts for you on breastfeeding tips, what they don't tell you about breastfeeding, and why I stopped. So first I want to talk about why it's good to breastfeed. I mean, like, there's nothing better than breastfeeding your child. They'll get all the nutrients, it can help them with their allergies, it's just so good for your baby. If I could, I would definitely recommend breastfeeding to all moms. So when I started was, of course, when he was first born, and then I stopped when he was about 2 to 3 months old. In the beginning, it was very, very good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed our bonding time, and it just felt like he was closer to me. But if the number 1 tip I had to give you for breastfeeding is please, please, please drink your water. Please drink your fluids. Well, all I really drink is water. I'm not really too much of a soda person or juice person. I don't really like all that stuff, so I just constantly drink water all the time. But if you're not a water person, please, if you want to breastfeed, I would say please, you're going to have to drink a lot of water if you just want your milk supply to come in. So I did suffer from engorgement breasts, but I feel like all breast moms will suffer from having very, very full breasts, and that just happens when you're breastfeeding. Your breasts just become very full, and those letdowns, oh my goodness, that's another thing, guys. Letdowns, at first in the beginning I was not able to feel it, but once I started getting used to it, and especially when I started to stop, those letdowns hurt like crazy. I don't know if anybody else felt it. Everybody was like, yeah, I was able to feel my letdowns, but nobody said, oh my goodness, those letdowns hurt. And my letdowns, they were kind of a little bit painful, especially when I was stopping when I would stop breastfeeding. Mastitis. Nobody ever talks about mastitis, and I think I'm saying that right. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And I did suffer from that as well, and that hurts like crazy too. I didn't know what it was. It was just one day I woke up really, really sore nipples. I tried to breastfeed him and it hurt like crazy. And it's kind of odd because when I went to his doctor, his pediatrician, and I was talking to her about it, she was like, well, you don't have mastitis, do you? And I was like, no, I don't even know what that is. And so she showed me pictures, and if for you that don't know what it is, it's kind of like red streaky patches or red streaky lines. You could have red streaks, you could have red patches around your breast, and it's like where your areola and where your nipples are just like super, super sore. It's weird because the next day I woke up and I had like a little bit of redness around my breast, and they just hurt so bad. That like all of this isn't to scare you, all of this isn't to like stop you from breastfeeding if you are pregnant, or if you are planning to get pregnant in the future or plan to breastfeed in the future. This video isn't to scare you or anything like that. This is just my experience. So my nipples did crack, and also they did bleed a little bit. I was like, oh no. So every time I would put him on my breast, it was just so painful. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to stop feeding him on one side and just try to feed him on the other side. And so that kind of helped, but then at the same time you have to think of this breast is now continuing to get full and be engorged. And so what I tried to do is pump it, but pumping didn't work either. It was just painful to pump, it was painful to breastfeed, it was just painful. Okay, definitely shout out to the mothers that have twins or triplets or just more and can breastfeed. When I tell you I give it to you, I give it to you, because I don't know how you do it. I don't even know how you do it. Like, let me know if you're a mother of twins and triplets and you breastfeed. Like, let me know in the comments down below, because girl, I give it to you. So another thing I feel like they don't tell you is after you stop breastfeeding. My breast after I stopped breastfeeding have definitely took a turn, okay? Like a whole 360. They did a just, my boobs aren't like even my boobs anymore. Like I look at my boobs and I'm like, ooh, where'd you go? Where did you go? Because you're not there anymore. When people say that my breasts are gone now after I breastfed, or after I finished breastfeeding, like I don't have any more breasts, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like my breasts are like perky and like they look amazing, like before pregnancy, during pregnancy, and a little bit after pregnancy. My breasts look fantastic. And now that I stopped breastfeeding, I'm like,
what are those? What are
I didn't do my research as to why, but you know, during pregnancy, the nipples and the areolas do grow, so that does tend to happen. If any of you have breastfed, I do have a question. Do your areolas go back down to size? Because if they do, I would gladly appreciate it, because I would gladly appreciate if mine went back to their normal size. Saggy boobs, like I just thought I was gonna have big perky boobs forever, but being breastfeeding, oh my goodness. And if I was continue to breastfeed up until, I would think I was just gonna go up until 6 months. If I continue to breastfeed, I don't even know what they would look like then. Like I'm scared to even think about what they would even look like then. But once again, this is not a video to scare you. This is not a video to tell you to stop breastfeeding. If you are breastfeeding, you are a rock star, and I give it to you, okay? And for those who stop breastfeeding, it is totally okay. You are awesome, okay? And you are still the same rock star, and you are still an amazing mom. And don't let anybody tell you any different just because you are formula feeding your baby, okay? On to why I stopped breastfeeding. So the main thing on why I stopped breastfeeding is because I am going back to work sooner than I thought that I was going back to work. I thought I was going to be able to go back to work 6 months because I did want to finish out breastfeeding camp. How I felt when I stopped breastfeeding is I kind of felt disappointed in myself because, you know, I was doing it for so long, and when I just have my mindset on something, guys, I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. Like when I have my mindset on something, it's like no going back. I'm doing it, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether it's a crazy idea, I go for it. And so breastfeeding is just something that I just went for. I didn't really think so much about it. Formula is not bad. If you formula feed your baby, it is okay. I was a formula fed baby, and I'm pretty sure most of you were formula fed babies, and I'm sure that you turned out just perfect. Okay. Guess who's here? Guess who's here? Guess who's here? See him back. So I wasn't giving him the right amount of, I guess, nutrition that he actually needed. Fuller, like he was probably drinking maybe 3-4 ounces, like the right amount that he kind of should have been drinking, but it was like he was hungry all the time. So which kind of makes me seem like I probably wasn't giving him the right amount of ounces that he needed, because he was just feeding like every 30 minutes, sometimes every hour. So but when he got on the formula, and now that he's on the formula, he's just so much more full, so much more happy. Like I would have to wait a few hours for me to even pump for 3 or 4 ounces. Pumping is hard work, isn't it, Camille? It's hard work, guys. Like, and I know some moms probably like they just spend their whole day pumping, and I couldn't do that. Like I rarely pumped, and I'm a little upset because I spent like over $100 on a pump machine that I'm not even going to be using anymore. I got like a breast pump bra that I bought, and I'm just not even going to be using it anymore. If I do have more kids, I do plan on trying to breastfeed with them, and hopefully I will be able to breastfeed longer with them. I kind of felt like my body was, Keneal's was like my baby's, like my body kind of like belonged to my baby. It was a point where I didn't even let Cornelius even near my breast. I didn't want him near my breast, and I would tell him sometimes, I was like, these aren't your breasts, these are Keneal's breasts. I was like, please don't touch my breasts, because I just feel like icky. How to stop breastfeeding. Most people say don't just automatically stop, but that's exactly what I did. I actually, when I had got my mastitis on my left breast, was like, okay, well, since I'm going back to work soon, I might as well just go ahead and get into the process of stop breastfeeding. I would breastfeed him throughout the night just because it was a little easier, and that is definitely something that I'm going to miss with breastfeeding. I was just able to just get up and get him, and just, if he wasn't even crying, like I would just put him right on my boob, and like that would be it. With formula feeding, it is a little bit more difficult, you know, getting the water, getting the bottles, getting the formula, doing the ounces, measuring it out right. How I stopped breastfeeding, and most people say don't do this, but I just stopped cold turkey. And like I said, I stopped breastfeeding on one side, and I would breastfeed him on the other side, and I would also formula feed him. It worked a little bit more only because I wasn't breastfeeding him that long. If you're breastfeeding for, I say, 6 months, over 6 months, and you stop cold turkey, I don't know what's gonna happen, because my breasts were so engorged. They say don't do it because it can cause your breasts to engorge and create mastitis. It can like have the infection spread even more. But what I did was just get like some cold pack gel, and I would just put it on my breast, or I would get like a bag of ice, and I would just put it on my breast, and I would leave it on for 20 minutes, leave it off for 20 minutes. I would put it back on for 20 minutes, and I would leave it off for 20 minutes. And when I say it helped so much, and people say you can also take like ibuprofen, and you can massage your breasts, and you can just do all these other things, but I just put ice on it, and when I say your girl was good to go. For some people that were also talking about in the comments about warming up the bottle, I do not warm up his bottle. So I'm really glad that Keneal likes normal room temperature water, and he'll just take the bottle like that, just room temperature. So I don't even warm up the bottle. So guys, when it's all said and done, I got so many great comments on, oh my goodness, mama, you're breastfeeding, keep it up. Oh my goodness, Davon, I recommend breastfeeding, you're doing such a good job. And I got all these fantastic comments on how I was doing a great job on breastfeeding, and I hope that you guys will continue to follow me and subscribe. At the end of the day, that's just what you have to do, guys. You just have to do what's best for you, what's best for your body, what's best for your baby. At the end of the day, you just do what's best for you. It's not going to be easy peasy. It's not going to be all glitters and rainbows throughout your whole breastfeeding time, but it will get better. Don't give up. It will get better. It's a little frustrating, and it is a little frustrating to breastfeed every now and then, but it's okay. It will get better. Don't be so hard on yourself, guys. Thank you guys for tuning into my channel. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button right there. Just go ahead and click it. Just go ahead and click it. I would love it if you leave it a comment down below to say hello, and I will see you guys at my next video. Bye, guys.